Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast, episode 123. My name is Morgan McDonald, and I'm joined by co-hosts George Beamish and Oliver Hoare. And I hope you guys really enjoyed that new intro that you just heard. And if you watched it on YouTube, also the animation that went along with it, we're very excited to finally be debuting that. So shout out to, firstly, Nick Harris for putting that together for us, and then also the Orange Runner for making that animation. That's why it took a little bit, because we wanted to make it nice and special, and we love it, and we hope you guys love it as well. So, new intro, which I think our other intro, did we have that like episode 1?
The music was.
The sound?
I think the sound forever.
And then the video was when you guys did the episode with Jordan.
In Zurich.
So that was probably like...
We had a homemade video for a while that we filmed at the Sherman house of us just like making a...
Steam was just going straight into the camera and you couldn't see shit.
The first video was not great, but it was a...
It was alright. It's a transition.
It's a placeholder.
It's a process. Like, we're just getting there. You know, we're getting more and more profesh as the weeks go on.
No, this one was so good. The Orange Runner's animation was just spot on.
Yeah. I don't know if there's some Easter eggs in there, so in the comments, please put them in. We'll have some fun with it. There's actually a couple of versions of it that have like these different Easter eggs in it, so maybe we'll change it up as well. Also, from last week, a quick apology for, I think it was my pronunciation.
No, you were right, dude.
I don't know if I was, though. Well, I was close.
I think the final verdict was Wellesley. Which is, I think, how you were saying it.
I think I was just saying Wesley.
Oh, maybe you were Wesley.
I was saying Wesley, and
I was saying Wellesley.
Yeah.
So everyone was saying it wrong.
I think we were all wrong.
Just Wellesley.
I used to play when I was in like intermediate. What do you call it here? Middle school. We used to play against a school from Wellington, and I'm pretty sure they were called Wellesley College or something.
Confusing.
So that was where
your brain was going back in the past.
I had a previous experience with a Wellesley.
Wellesley, yeah.
Yeah,
we had that completely wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone in the comments who pointed that out, including I got a personal DM from Mr. Jonathan Galt letting me know how to pronounce it, because apparently I did think it sounded really familiar. It wasn't just a random place. It's the turnaround point in the Boston Marathon. So that's why it's somewhat famous in the running world. You run out to there and then come back.
We're very good at marathon stuff, so I just don't know how we didn't get that.
As marathon experts, we should have known that.
We should have known that for sure.
But apologies for that. Wellesley. We know it
Wellesley.
now. We will never get that wrong again. I think, we have a little bean shout out today as well. Oliver?
Just getting it organized.
I'm a bit far away from the table, the motherboard, as we call it. I can't pronounce this brand because it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Silly. George, help me.
We were just discussing this. Right,
I know, and I completely forgot how to pronounce it.
We're thinking CL.
CL. Okay, CL Athletics. So they said Bonjour Coffee Club, which is nice.
Yeah. So they're French Canadian. It's established.
It's established right there
confirmed.
in that first little thing. So they have been very, very lovely to
Well, it's
send
just
us.
I don't know if it's them. I would just shout out the guy who sent it. I think he's just a big fan.
You're 100%
He
right.
works for them, but
Alex Ashkin. If I pronounced your name wrong, I'm so sorry. As you can tell, I'm not great at it. Alex Ashkin, thank you so much for sending these beans to us. Where I literally had them in my car driving here to the podcast, and they just smelled so good. So
where are they from?
They're a whole bean coffee from, I think maybe it's been from Honduras, or they are Honduras beans.
I'm seeing
it says New York, Hudson Valley.
New Paltz. That's what I'm seeing on the front.
Dry Fly Coffee Co. in New York.
Yeah.
So I think he happens to work for CL.
Dry Fly Coffee Co.
Based in
Established in
Alex guy.
2020. The bag's pretty sick because it's got like a little fish hook on it. And yeah, smells amazing. So thank you very much.
There was also a little tape measure in there, which is what's the use for that, Ollie? According to the letter.
The measuring tape is to measure out your bicep throughout the season to make sure you're getting swole.
All right, that's our goal. We want to run faster times, but also simultaneously get
Just getting
bigger.
freaking yoked, bro. Well, the funny
biceps.
thing is, me and George are wearing like a long sleeve top, so we're very, very much hiding our biceps. Morgan's not hiding away from the fact that his biceps are out and they're ready to be
May as well
measured.
May as well get a number on this right now.
Let's get a baseline.
Do I flex?
I think you do. No,
I think you do flex.
I think you like hold it out and flex as hard as you can.
Dude, I have a tiny
Try and break it.
freaking bicep. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you're pretty fit right now. I
Okay.
feel like that's what happens.
I'm 20,
That's about 29 now.
29 centimeters.
It's not bad.
Morgan?
Should I do a quick one? How about
May as well.
you do our other bean shout out?
Well,
and
we get-
do a
well,
little
Oh,
we
bit
yeah,
this
of
number.
course. So, Jason, our magician, Jason Ross, got back from Hawaii and gave us a lovely bag of beans from Maui. Asked around, made sure that he was getting us the best bag of beans because Jason is one of the legends for us in the team. Keeps us healthy, keeps us going. It looks like the beans are from Colombia and it's from Maui, and it smelled amazing as well. So thank you so much, Jason. Really appreciate it. You always do way too much for us, so it's super nice to get a bag of beans from you. And we know how much you love coffee, so we know that this is going to be a very good bag of beans. So thank you. What was the
Thank you,
measurement?
Jason. The numbers have come in.
It can. I don't know if I believe the numbers, but it said that George had 1 centimeter bigger than Morgan.
I'm sitting at 28 centimeters.
Am I
Yeah, you're
supposed,
gonna
I'm
have to-
supposed
you're
to
gonna have
flex,
to-
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think Jason's probably provided the most beans for the pod.
He has. He's
by the
brought them
numbers,
multiple
so-
times. He also was. We've mentioned this a few times as well. When we originally were selling beans, he was one of our official taste testers. So he's had a big influence on this podcast.
I'm so
It's
bad.
not easy to measure on yourself. While Olli measures his biceps, I would just quickly mention that CEO Gus would love if everyone that enjoys the Coffee Club podcast in any way would please consider like, comment, subscribe, turning on those post notifications. And if you listen to the audio version on Spotify or Apple Music, please leave a review. All that just helps the podcast grow and thrive and do our thing.
We have a lot of work to go, boys.
What were you at?
29,
Also
I think.
29.
I don't know what we're aiming for, but that seems.
I mean, I was aiming for swell.
Yeah.
There's
I thought mine were
literally
going to
says
be way
yoked
smaller.
on the measuring tape. It's like there's a little section here near past 55 that just says yoked.
Yoked. All right, we'll try to get
Yeah,
up to
we'll try and get up to
55.
that. Yeah.
Just about double. Just
Yeah.
doubling our
Just double.
biceps.
Imagine turning up to practice and Rich is going, "What's going on here? Good God, man, what happened to your biceps?"
Got to start taking some creatine,
Yeah.
or maybe later we'll be talking about the enhanced games today.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the
Sneaking in the gym, not
The
doing
route
our
we would
proper
have to
lifts
go.
and just doing bicep curls the entire time. Why are the coffee club boys just sitting there doing biceps?
just pounding some protein or whatever you do. So today we have a lot of good stuff. We're in the thick of it, in the thick of the indoors / I guess road season as well. We have the marathon trials to talk about. We have the New Balance Grand Prix happen, and we also are previewing the Millrose games, as well as some other cool news, such as some more Jakob updates. And a big story on the Twitterverse, at least, has been the enhanced games, which we'll give our thoughts on. And then also there's a Super Bowl preview going to happen at some point. Football.
Super
Football.
Bowl.
You know what that is?
Yeah, Taylor Swift's.
Taylor Swift.
It's mostly about Taylor Swift, I think, and about how she's going to go from her last show from Japan to Las Vegas. I think it's going to be a quite hard trip for her to do, but that's probably what most of the coverage is going to be about with the Super Bowl.
I'm impressed that you know that type of stuff.
I don't. Well, I mean,
Where do you find that news out from?
Yard.
Yeah, fair
So,
enough.
from what I can understand, she'll be able to get there in the afternoon / evening if she's able to finish the show with at least 1 to 2 encore songs.
I was about to
2 or 3
say
songs.
no encore, or maybe
No, I think it's like max 2 to 3 songs. Like if Swifties have taught me anything, is that they usually know what Taylor's up to, and I think that's what she's going to be up to. Maybe 3 songs, and then heading straight back to support her boyfriend Patrick Mahomes. Oh no, Travis Kelce.
I thought that was intentional. That was really
Travis
funny.
Kelce.
Close.
I assume she just flies like private from the freaking
100%.
from the venue to the stadium.
I hear she uses the power of all her Swifties to like grant teleportation.
Have you seen like this stuff where she was like getting roasted about how like her emissions from how much she flies, and
She's
then
like the highest. Isn't she the highest celebrity in the world? That's
I mean I don't
one of the
know how,
highest,
I don't know
yes.
how they would rate it, but it was a lot because when she tours she travels so much, and then I think all her fans were like, we'll stop eating meat for like this many times so that you can keep your flying patterns going.
Oh, she literally controls the United States government. I reckon she's
like,
behind the scenes controlling everything.
I'll stop driving my car so you can do your tour, which is
if she said, okay, this is quite like crazy, but if she was like, we need to go and cripple Morgan McDonald. He said something bad about me at Coffee Club. We need to break his kneecaps. I guarantee you, Morgan, we would not be able to save you.
I don't disagree at all.
You're lost cause.
Yeah, you're gone, man.
And Yared would be leading the charge.
Yared just opens it. It's like storming with rain. The door just, you hear the doorbell go off and the door opens and Yared's got the sledgehammer and he's like, I'm sorry, Morgan.
I have to do it. No, 100% I believe that would happen. So, yeah, that's our Super Bowl preview. But before we get into all the other running stuff, we have to have an Olli hair and training update. If you're watching the video version right now, you can see that Olli has had a big change in the last week. Olli, you want to give us what's going on? What's going on in your life?
So I wanted to look like the kid Leroy.
Fair
but
enough.
Still getting there. No, it was my birthday. Last week? Yeah, last week.
Monday.
And I was like, I kind of want to do something fun for my birthday, and I thought it'd be fun, like once in my life, to like dye my hair. So then I was talking to my hairdresser, and she's like, "Let's dye it grey. Let's do it. Like it'll look sick, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I kind of just went on an impulse and went and dyed my hair. And I tell you what,
an impulse that was planned out for like a few weeks.
Yeah, because I had to book it.
Because you told me like 3 weeks before that you're doing it.
Well,
spur of the moment, but like the moment was 3 weeks long.
Spur of the moment when I booked it, but then I had to wait for the spur of the moment to actually transition to
come into fruition.
Into fruition. Well, yeah.
What other colors were?
Is that grey?
It's light grey, white. Like it's apparently this was a massive like fad in the 90s. A lot of celebrities were getting their hair dyed like this, and apparently it only lasts like a couple of weeks and then it starts going blonde. Like you can't keep it grey natural. Like unless your hair's actually dead, it just doesn't stay this color. So
silver fox.
Yeah. So I I look like a toilet brush, but
who said that?
Oh, I said that.
Wait, why?
Because a toilet brush has got the little white little. Yeah.
Why would you choose that?
I don't know. I was thinking of something funny and self-deprecating to do. But no, I've got a lot of compliments on it.
I think it looks good.
Thank you, George. I got a lot of compliments on it, and I wanted to do something fun with my hair. And I thought, well, I've got tattoos, I've got piercings. Like, what could be a fun thing to do?
What's left out there?
Yeah, what's left to do to my body to just have just to see what it's like. And I'll tell you what, I had a very nice experience in there because I'd never been in a barbershop or a hairdresser for more than like 25 minutes. So then spending like 3.5 hours in there just with all the ladies, just having chats and enjoying the vibe. Yeah, it did.
Was it one of those ones that they have like coffee machine and like?
I got a cold brew, sparkling. Oh no, because I had to double, George, and I've also been trying to cut back on me drinking. So I had a cold brew,
responsible,
a couple of sparkling waters. I was chatting to this lady about her trip to Sweden, and then apparently they're going to put me on the Instagram. I did a little photo shoot afterwards, and they took a couple of photos. Like, oh, this looks fantastic. We're going to put it on the Instagram.
Did you get it for free for that?
No, no, it still cost me a mozza. But no, I felt good about it. I thought it was fun because I am contemplating maybe keeping it for a little bit, but I'm also thinking like I've done that in my life. I can tick that box. And then
I think what would suit is an eyebrow piercing with it. Do you have an eyebrow piercing?
No, I've never got one.
I think that would.
I was thinking of getting the eyebrow slit, like when people do like a little cut through their eyebrow.
Oh, you should definitely do that.
Yeah, I did that one.
You did that?
A younger Morgan.
Younger Morgan?
I don't know if I could still pull that off.
Yeah. But that's an update from me. Training's going well.
Mm-hmm.
The Ritz didn't measure the 400s correctly yesterday, so...
Oh, he was running 50s.
He wanted, you gotta be nice and controlled. Don't go too fast. You gotta be nice and controlled. And then he doesn't measure the 400 correctly, so then I'm running slower than where I think I should be running, and then I try and push it to run the time. Because I'm thinking, wow, I'm just not fast. And he goes, oh, well, Olli, it'd be funny. You're 4 or 5 seconds quicker than what you should have done. And I'm like, okay. Well, then I just failed the workout.
How many 400s did you do with it off?
All of them.
How many is all?
Just 2.
Oh,
so 600 was on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was there a 200 split?
No. Well, so they told, Kelsey and Dathan told me, they said, when when you start at the fifth one, you go 100 meters and then you just run a whole lap and then that's 400. They didn't tell me what the 200 split was, so I didn't think about it. I just ran it.
I don't think there was a 200 split.
No.
But when you stopped your watch the first time, were you like, that can't be right?
I ran 64 when I was supposed to run 62, and I already thought I was running quicker, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, I guess I've been doing a lot of threshold, but I felt really good the whole workout. Like I feel really fit. Yeah. I feel pretty strong. And then I go again and I run 62, which was technically a 57, 58.
You probably went like 60, 58.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm in 99s too. I'm on spikes and I'm thinking like, I thought I was good at running. What the? I mean, I know I've been injured, but like,
really hard.
Like I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. Like I'm always going way too quick. I'm always not going the correct pace, but now I'm running the right pace and it feels difficult. So I had a bit of a crisis.
There were a lot of cones out last night.
Yeah.
There were cones all around the track.
There were more cones out there than in freaking Snoop Dogg's bedroom. There were so many cones. Like, literally, I'm walking around, I'm like, I don't know what this measurement is. Like, what could it possibly be? Like, is this like the 305 meter measurement or?
Yeah, for those at home, so we train on Sundays on the CU indoor track, which is a 300 track, but we do most of our workout, or all of our workout, generally in lane 5 and 6. So then it makes the measurements really off. Lane 6 is a bit easier, especially if you're doing Ks, because it's 333 meters.
Yeah, so like
to a lap.
Three laps is like almost exactly a K, right?
Yeah, it's like real simple if you're doing that. But if you're doing other stuff, which often we are, like 400s, 600s, etc., you can get a little bit confusing in there. And that's what the case was. Everyone had like different stuff yesterday, so there was a lot of, as Olli said, more cones out there than in Snoop Dogg's bedroom.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But training's gone great.
Olli was looking great though.
I tell you what, there was the Dathan on his social media posted a video with all the boys. The only person missing in that video is Jonas, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to see, and it was nice to be a part of it. And Morgan was out there leading, hair frolicking.
My hair was frolicking.
Yeah, it was a good moment to be back with the fellas. And
Morg missed the outfit.
Yeah, we were all wearing the same top.
I fucked up pretty bad. And the thing is, that's my favorite top. So I have no excuses. I should have been wearing it, but I just forgot.
Everyone else is wearing the same shirt.
Honestly, that is the best top that we have for sure
100%.
for training. It's so nice.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So yeah.
That's my update. Thanks, guys.
Nice update. We're going to get into some marathon trial stuff. As you guys would have heard, we did an amazing preview of it last week. And then it all went down on Saturday morning. Some great racing out there. Well, firstly, we did get a lot of messages about something related to this, which we do need to address. And this is Citrus Mag. We have to... I don't want to do this to them, but I think we got a lot of messages about them and people making fun of them, and it relates to us. So there are a couple of things. Firstly, taking a step back from the marathon trials talk, they did, when I say they, on the Chris Chavez podcast, I don't know if that's what it's called, he interviewed...
Chicky Chavez chats.
He's gonna use that.
Chicky Chavez chats.
That is really good.
But last week he did Colin Cooper, little double bubble trouble.
They are double bubble trouble,
Millrose Preview, and he did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire based trivia game with them.
What?
That sounds familiar.
Which I'm not saying that we invented Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
But we did it. But we did invent Who Wants to Be a BU Millionaire.
So it was just, we got a lot of people saying, what is this going on? 'Cause I think the timing of it, well, this is my thing. The timing of it, come on. Like 1 week after we did it, ours was for a BU race. This one was for a race in New York. It's just like, I love the idea of doing the like trivia based games to get you hyped up for a meet, but come on.
What were his questions? Were they good?
I didn't listen.
No, neither did I.
But he was giving out real money though. $10 per correct answer.
That's pretty good then.
So I guess he one-upped us in that.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, he's got the money. But looking at it this way though, I'm just trying to not defend Cheeky Chavez, but could he have recorded that weeks before and then maybe dropped it later? Like when would the time frame be? Because it is very, very coincidental. It was a week after when we did our
He could have, but I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure, but I think it was pretty.
Okay. It's pretty self-explanatory that
I don't know
where you got the idea from.
I think maybe it is just if it is just a massive coincidence.
It could, yeah.
And maybe we somehow stole the idea from him. He did it first, and then like through the airwaves, like subconscious got implanted.
We're doing in the Inception on Chris Chavez when he's asleep in New York. We're just me, Morgan, and Georgia, just diving in, trying to get those ideas.
Yeah, so we're not going to say anything because we do love our friends over at Citrus Mag, but it was just noted. We're just going to note it.
It happened. It happened.
It was noted. And then the other thing, which I know like this is not their fault at all, because this was all set up by Hoka, but people were giving them crap as well. And this is what relates to the marathon trials, is that their podcast was very coffee themed, which everything I think that Hoka did at the trials was coffee themed. But like their podcast was like,
I wonder if that was, if Hoka had taken that from us serving coffee.
Yeah.
Well, because they did. So not everyone would know this, but at a few events such as the Penn Relays, like we have served coffee as a team as a way to interact with fans, and then Hoka did that with their pro athletes as well. Which, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean,
if you're trying to promote good fan engagement with your athletes, it's good for the sport, regardless of like copying an idea or whatever. Like if you're trying to interact with a fan base, you're giving out a product that they're enjoying, and people are actually having a good time, and they're enjoying that experience.
Love coffee.
They love coffee. Yeah. Good for the sport. However,
it looked like a lot of good engagement.
We did it first. You guys remember that. Our loyal fans, you remember Coffee Club did it first. So it's like the the Simpsons South Park thing. Simpsons did it first. Coffee Club did it first. Hoka, watch out.
Yeah.
Just watch yourself, okay?
Again.
Or Hoka, whatever the people call them.
Noted.
Noted.
Just noted. Just put that down in the notes. So yeah, just a bit of no beef. Just wanted to clear the air there. But moving on to the actual race, it was some. I mean, I didn't actually get to watch the whole race. I know George did, but Olli and I watched probably the first like 30 or I think 40 minutes of the men's race, 20 minutes of the women's race, and then we had to go out and run. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see the finish. But the 1, 2, 3 was Mance, Young, and Lenny Career on the men's side, and then on the women's side, big debut Fiona O'Keefe, Emily Sisson, and then Dakota Lindworm. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Coming through with a big, kind of a big upset on that side to round out that 3. So congratulations to all those athletes. So amazing to see. What do we think, boys? Do you guys remember predictions and stuff? I have them down in the notes.
I remember that, unfortunately, Molly Seidel, or Molly Seidelaware, as I like to call her now.
I think we all picked her.
I picked her to be top 3. I mean, Olympic bronze medalist, great racer, been a good marathon. It sucks not to see her be able to toe the line. Hopefully she's got a speedy recovery.
Yeah, she put out like the week.
Yeah,
a few days
I think
before,
we've already put our picks in. And then Galen Rupp.
I think we all picked Forbes, I think.
And
Burrito Man.
Scott Fable, yeah.
Yeah, no one picked her up.
No one picked her up.
I sort of did, but then I kind of backed down.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember we talked about Rupp in some way.
We did.
Or as I like to call him, Galen Rupture. But with, Scott Fable, unfortunately had a stomach issue at mile 9, I think.
Yeah, that was a big upset for all of us as he had to pull out. Similar to what was going on with him in Berlin, I think he had some, stomach stuff that he's thrown up.
Hopefully he's doing okay. I mean, that's not an ideally, like, if it's injury or something like that, it sucks. But when it comes to a stomach issue, I can imagine he's very disappointed in that. So,
yeah.
Sucks.
We all picked Mance.
Ants, Pants, Mance.
And then...
That was a pretty solid pick. I feel like that was...
Very good. He's very consistent. I mean,
yes.
I can't remember exactly his times for all his marathons. I know he blew up in one of them. Boston. He went out really hard. And he still actually ran like a decent time, even though he blew up.
I think he was on record for running like something crazy. And then he just,
But so we all picked him. And then I think I was the only one to pick Clayton Young.
Clayton Old.
Yeah, Clayton Old. Who, there was a big deal online about people under...
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I have a bit of a problem with this.
Tell me.
Well, I didn't pick him.
Give us the tea, George.
I assumed he was in pretty similar fitness to Connor. I think they just do everything together. But I have just flashbacks of him at BYU in the big NAU BYU era, and he was just the instigator of all the BYU beef.
Was he really? I thought it was someone else. I thought that was
him
Clayton.
It was him and like Rory.
No, there was another Clayton who like was really aggressive on Twitter.
Oh, Shumway, yeah.
That's who I thought it was.
But I mean, Clayton Young definitely did not hold back. And look, great marathoner. Happy you made the team. But
what's your point? What are you trying to say?
There was this dude. The regional cross one year. We like started in opposite ends, like boxes, like NAU's down one end, BYU's way down the other end. This gun goes and like it's regionals. Everyone's like, it's pretty chill. He sprints the first 100 meters, cuts the entire field off, and just runs in front of the team and then just slows down and backs into our team.
Respect.
I mean, that's
Just
a
like
tactical
that.
move. That's a tactical move.
That's a great move.
Basically, he would just try and get in our heads the whole time. And while he was at BYU,
Well, I think it worked.
no, we never lost to him once.
Well, yeah, I guess
Once he
I
left.
guess you guys are able to handle it, but you know, it still popped in your head, I imagine. But
Exactly.
I
so
think
is that why you didn't pick him?
is that why
Personal
personal beef?
reasons.
100%.
BYU.
100%, yeah. I thought he'd make the team, but I wasn't going to pick him.
Classic. Well,
but the underdog thing, I feel like he made it his whole personality for the whole weekend.
No, but it was almost backwards. This is a bit of a what came first, the chicken or the egg.
yeah,
I think from what I saw in interviews,
he's wearing glasses.
he saw that like no one picked him in the top 3. Like even on Citrus Mag, only one of them I think picked him, and I think they only picked him off like not initially. I think he saw that, and then I think word for word he said, "It seems like no one's picking me." So even though like it doesn't make sense because I have the second fastest time, I'm coming in with an underdog mentality.
And then I never saw anything else about him all weekend apart from
Yeah.
something about it being an underdog.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing for the whole weekend.
But he was because no one picked him.
All right.
In
I
a
do
way.
like it how baller he was, just wearing sunglasses in the interviewing
interview.
process.
Did look good in them.
I mean,
Yeah.
I actually think he could have won that race pretty easily.
I think he could have
he,
won it.
he looked the best.
He looked like he.
You think so?
I think he looked. It looked like he let Mance
He
win.
did. He like waved him ahead.
Mance like,
Hurting.
but the thing is, it's hard to tell Mance's form.
Yeah,
as well.
He always
he looks
looks
like
like
he's
it.
hurting from mile 3. So
I thought they were gonna like hands like
whole hands together.
like some kumbaya
yeah,
shit.
some.
I mean, they could split the money if they wanted to.
Oh, I reckon they did. I reckon
think
they
so?
had a. I reckon they had a little
What's the combined total of that?
Oh,
it's a
that's
shitload.
good.
Yeah, but what is it?
80 plus
Like
60
70.
maybe.
I think it's more than 60.
80 plus 70.
Something like that. I think
How like
the second
150
one's really
grand?
good.
Yeah, so 150.
I reckon they said beforehand like, all right, if we're going,
75 each. That's pretty good.
Like,
if we're
was
coming
it-
down the
So I
coming
didn't
straight
see-
together.
I didn't see it. Was it like Mance? I almost called him Lance. Was Lance pretty like
Lance
locked in and just like sprinting, and Clayton was more like chilling type?
I think
that-
they were both. Well, Clayton was he was like weaving off to the side to like high five people,
Oh, like celebrating.
but they were just next to each other, and then with like 20 meters to go, Clayton just slows down and waves him through.
Interesting.
I thought they were going to cross the line together.
I think Clayton probably looks at Mance as like he's better than me. I saw some people saying that Mance was, I don't know who was saying this. It might have been literally Clayton saying this or someone else saying that they think that Mance was like actually pretty still within himself in the trials.
I mean, I'd still believe it. It's hard
Yeah.
because it's
He
always
did-
hard to tell with
He
Mance.
did lose a bottle early on, and the bottle
He
dropped.
did.
And
We
I
were
tell you
watching
what, the commentary and everyone around it doing the US Olympic trials were making an absolute field day of it. It's like, oh, he missed the bottle, and they're all
Like,
talking
end of the
about it
world.
for about 20 minutes. And I look over, and he's literally been given a bottle by his teammate,
I think
Clayton Nold, right? So he technically got a bottle. He got something.
But it was just funny because he almost ran backwards and got it.
Yeah.
And this was
Some guy stopped.
Some random dude was
guy
going to go and
stopped.
get it, but he realized that he can't. If he
Some-
picks it up and gives it to Connor, then it's a DQ, I think.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
has to
someone
be
on
a
Twitter
teammate.
said.
It has to be a teammate.
No, I don't think that's true.
There's
That's
no
not
su-
true.
There is no such thing as teammates.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
I think you can share your bottle, but I don't think you
Oh.
can pick up someone else's bottle and
Maybe
give it
that's
to them.
what it is. Because I was trying to think of the logic behind it, thinking like, why can't he just pick it up? That makes more sense. If they have it, they can share it. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, sick races by them. I almost picked
Yeah.
Clayton Young for like the opposite. I almost picked second seed, so like a pretty not like exciting pick, but also I had an emotional reason to pick him because he speaks Spanish really well, and that makes me like him.
Mm.
Because I went out to
He
dinner.
does.
I went out to dinner with him and Carlos at Drake Relays back in 2021, and you know how Carlos is. If someone else is speaking Spanish, Carlos just wants to
Yeah,
speak
he's
Spanish.
all over it.
He doesn't care that you don't understand, and then he started speaking Spanish, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And he was a really nice guy there. So
Yeah, that's the thing. He's a super nice guy. It's really
So,
annoying.
that's like all the BYU
It's like
people,
all
though,
of them.
isn't it? Like,
They're all so nice. It's annoying.
That's like
Yeah.
I feel like that a bit about the Stanford people as well. I want to hate on Stanford, but then they're just like
super nice.
super nice, super good looking,
Yeah.
really good at everything.
But huge props to Zach Panning for like
Yeah,
pacing
I
them for
was
the whole race.
hoping for hear top 3 performance from him just because of like the way he raced it, but you know, good for him. Hopefully,
shit. Those last few miles must have been hard.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, he was running quick, getting the pace down, and then we got to give a big shout out to Lenny Correa,
Yeah.
4th last time. He's just
What a career win.
a career performance.
What a career performance from Lenny Correa.
from Lenny. He's been grinding away like for so long now at such a high level. I think his debut marathon was like just under 2:08. Like he's so talented. He was in the NCAA quite a long time ago, coached by Gavin Kennedy, who was our assistant coach. So we've heard a lot about the amazing things he was doing at Iona. So
shout out to Gavin.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, out of all the performances I've seen on social media, his is by far the best. Like the way he's crossing the line, it's
just it's dramatic.
Yeah,
so
the emotion
dramatic.
in it, it's just unreal. So good. That's what it's about, you know.
Did you guys see CJ Albertson's post-race interview? It was really sad because I think he closed really fast. I don't know if it was the fastest last mile, but he was like closing on everyone, and then I think he only missed out on third in the end by
10 seconds.
And so I mean, he was the way he was talking about it was just like so emotional because like he was at a point in those last few miles where he was kind of out of it. Like he wasn't really aware what was going on, and then he was just like going for it, and then I think he like was realizing like shit, I just missed the Olympics by only 10 seconds, and like I actually felt really good today. So it was
hopefully good fuel for the fire in future races.
Yeah, I think he's still young.
He would have been a cool one to see on the team. Just for like how ridiculous his like the training and the stuff he does. Like people don't do that. No one else runs 2:11 twice in like 6 days.
No.
Was it him that they were showing on the broadcast that was training in the room with all the red lights?
Yeah.
Do you think that's healthy? All that radiation?
I don't know, bro.
Morgan, when you train for the marathon, I'm putting you in that room. I'm calling it the chicken coop, and you're going to be freaking training there.
But that's funny because that's what they were. They were chicken heating lamps, I think.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
So yeah, that was so good. But yeah, as always, an amazing race on the men's side as well as the women's. It's I guess more upsets on the women's side.
100%, yeah.
When you have someone debut in, was it 2:22:10 or something?
So fast.
Fiona keeps coming through.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see. I mean, it was kind of crazy just like how different things play out from how you expect. Like some of the top people, like unfortunately Kira D'Amato, who I think maybe you picked.
I picked, yeah.
Didn't come through. But it's like I was reading the interviews with Alistair Cragg, her coach, Fiona's coach that is, and he was like, yeah, she actually like didn't even do like any crazy workouts or anything, just had like consistent training. But he also said if you just like based on what he knows about her as an athlete, like she's like just so suited for the marathon, so he's not surprised by it.
Also, like that's the greatest thing about those trials, I reckon, is that people can have that day, have that moment, you know, and fully take advantage of it. And Fiona O'Teeth definitely did that. It's pretty amazing to watch. That's the stuff that I love to watch, is those kind of stories, those upsets.
Do you have a nickname for Emily Sisson?
Emily Scissors.
Emily Scissors.
Yeah.
Good to see her get it done after.
Yeah. Consistent.
Struggled a bit in the trials last time.
Yeah.
Looked very controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing runner. And then Dakota Lindworm is she trained in Minnesota? Is that the one?
I think Joe said she lives like 10 or 20 minutes from him. And I think he said he saw her a bunch over Christmas or something, just out on the trails.
That was her.
Because she runs a million miles.
Ran a big, like 130 miles a week on that Japanese training. But that was a big upset as well, coming through for third. So congrats to her.
Yeah.
I know that was I think that was a big PB for her, no?
I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a quick race. It was not slow. The women, when they started, they just kept going. They just went for it, I think.
They went out pretty hard.
Yeah.
Running fast in those conditions sounds so hard.
Yeah.
But it was like 85% humidity or something.
It'd definitely be good for them
full sun
to get a good understanding of what that feels like for Paris, because I think Paris is going to probably be similar conditions, even hotter or
even
humider.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah.
And on a very, very hilly course.
Yeah, the course apparently is not forgiving. So it'll be interesting to see how the Americans play out, because I think out of all the countries, we were talking about it the other day at practice with Joe, he was like talking about like, why don't the UK do marathon trials? And I'm thinking like the depth of the US marathon is kind of insane compared to other countries. Like so many amazing and talented marathon runners can have incredible races in New York, in Boston, Chicago, blah, 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 whatever those majors are. But you only get 3. And a lot of other countries maybe only have 2 or 3 people that can actually run that time or run to that standard. So it's pretty, I think that's what's uniquely special about the US Olympic marathon trials, is that you have that kind of race and set up to really watch these amazing athletes compete in one of the hardest events you can do in running. So,
well, we should also mention, I think Lenny Carew is technically not yet qualified.
Yes.
But I think it looks like he has a good chance based on rankings.
This is from ClexMex. I think 13 people have to pass him in ranking for him to not get into to not make the team for the ranking. He hasn't got the time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I think 13 people have to pass him before May.
Or if any American goes and any American that aren't Connor and Clayton go and run 208 between now and May, he would also make
That's
it.
such a weird concept. There's no way it
yeah.
stays like that because that just makes no sense.
Like if someone goes to, well, I guess Boston never counts for anything. So
Does it not even count for a qualifier?
I don't think so. But London's in April. So if someone went and ran good at London.
So Scott
like,
Fable could technically go, maybe run the time and then get on a team.
No,
he would get Lenny on the team.
Oh, really?
He would be securing a third spot, automatic spot.
Isn't that crazy?
From the trials.
So he wouldn't get the spot. He would give the spot to Lenny by running his own time.
That's insane. Why if Connor and Clayton didn't get top 2, but they had unlocked the top 2 spots, like they would have just been gifting 2 people.
That's so weird how that works.
Like someone else could have say it was like a jog fest. Someone could have ran 220 and taken their spot. Like if they had won in 220 for whatever reason.
Yeah, like those spots didn't belong to Connor and Clayton, even though they had run them.
Right.
Very weird.
That's so weird.
Which sounds strange.
But so it's a kind of a good thing they went 1-2 because they're deserving of it.
Yeah, 100%. Well,
obviously.
it had the best outcome in that situation.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's our marathon trials review. Some amazing races. Is there anything else to touch on from it? Some cool scenes from out there. I liked seeing Uppbeat get after the old man. Do you see? There was on No Context posted him having a beer.
Yeah.
When he dropped. I'm not sure when he dropped out, but at some point he dropped out and then he was cheering on with a beer. So
that's
good to
awesome.
see those types of scenes.
I thought he was trying to give it to someone.
It did look like it
my favorite tweet, and I'll shout out Jonathan Goldbladder for this tweet, was on Porch Limo, saying how many times this dude going to touch his face. I'm going to bet over under 200. And just watching Porch Limo go through, he has one of, as a runner, watching him run, it's beautiful. He such a beautiful style when he runs, but he's literally just always touching his forehead when he's running. I'm like, dude, you're running a marathon this. I know you wear a headband, you're touching your head all the time. That's got to surely that energy wise, you're just going to deplete it by just moving your head up higher than usual.
Oh yeah, we didn't even touch on Porch Limo either. Did he finish or did he drop out? No.
I don't know how far he made it.
No, even when Olli and I stopped watching, he was already 15 seconds back from the leaders. Yeah. I'm if you're going to do the marathon trials, I feel like you just run with the front until you die.
Yeah.
Maybe that's easier said than done.
I think that's why there are always a lot of DNFs.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think we talked about that a bit last week.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, so I guess we'll see him on the track.
Yep. He'll be at the, I'm sure he's going to be doing the 10K, running against Joe and the 5. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
So some other big news this past week, Mr. Jakob Ingebrigsten.
Jingy.
He's pregnant.
Yeah, he's pushing out a baby. Good on him. Maybe that's what all the speculation was about. He was just hiding the pregnancy rumors.
Yeah, he could be.
From his injury. But no, congratulations, Jingy. I'm sure you've been listening ever since you've been on our podcast. We're very, very happy and proud of you. And I think I got a good name suggestion for your son. Yeah. Or if it's not a girl. If it's not a boy, sorry. Yeah.
What is it?
Go.
Angus.
Angus.
Then he'd be what? Angie.
Angie Ingebrigtsen.
Angie.
Kind of works.
Huh?
You got to replace the I. Now, what's his wife's name? Sorry, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, yeah.
Congratulations,
Elizabeth.
Two.
Yeah.
Also, we talked about how he snapped his Achilles last week. Did not snap his Achilles. There's been some clarification. Someone finally worked out how to translate Norwegian to English in the past week. It wasn't a snap. It was something in the sheath, inflammation, I guess, or something that's just painful, I suppose, and start limiting his running. And then also there was some more exciting updates between I don't know why it's happening right now, but every week there's a new article either coming out from him, and then there's also one often coming out from either Josh Kerr or Jake Whiteman. There's just this back and forth happening right now. And I think the funniest quotes from the most recent one was just him just as he does, just doubling down. He could, Jake Whiteman and Josh Kerr tend to take the standpoint of this guy shouldn't be so cocky. That's what's his biggest weaknesses is his cockiness, and it's shown we beat him in the last 2 world champs. And then he would just double down. He doubled down. He said
gets cockier.
He said that he would win those races 98 times out of 100.
That's what he said.
And just 2 of the times they didn't win was the past world champs.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like a celebrity divorce. You know when celebrity divorces and they make statements from their lawyers about all this random shit that probably isn't true but could be true?
Yeah.
It sounds like Jakob and Jake and Josh are going through some sort of divorce right now, and they're just throwing it at each other. But I do love the 98 out of 100. It's so good, bro.
Yeah.
It's the 2 times that the possibility of the 2 times it happening, then it happens. Oh,
Yeah, he's
so good.
he's just
so
doubling
funny.
down, just saying
Yeah.
how
I
amazing
respect
he
it. I
is.
respect it. He's gonna die on that hill. I respect it.
He will.
I respect it, Jakob.
He was saying how he was just saying he said, like, I mean, this could all be translation errors as well, but he said it was silly that like Josh Kerr was trying to do psychological warfare with him.
We should get back. We should get Jingy back on the pod so we can clarify all this for us. I think the fans need to know.
Yeah.
What do you say about Josh's influencing?
Did he comment on it?
He said
Oh
something.
yeah, he said he said something about how many followers does he have? He has a lot. Like
To Josh or
no, Jakob.
I think he's almost got 500,000.
He said if he wanted to, he could have 10 million, but he chooses to focus on running.
Did he say 10 million?
Yes, he did. He said if he wanted to be an influencer,
my
he would
gosh.
have 10 million followers, but he chooses to focus on the running. And then the other thing, which I don't know, this is some form of translation error, but he did say something about how he's like 3 seconds quicker than everyone else in the event. And so like when they beat him or when they're like within 3 seconds of him, there's like some reason, like there's something going on with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If anybody wants to clarify that, watch the pre-final and see how close Jared is to Jakob in that situation.
It just means Jakob really underperformed that day.
Yeah.
He should have run
He
340.
should have broken the world record easily.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Give me more.
It's so good, eh?
I'm happy that he didn't snap
So
his Achilles.
entertaining.
Me too. He's such an entertainer. Honestly, George, like you always say, man, good for the sport.
Yeah.
He is good for the sport.
So good old Jakob doing Jakob things. Keep it going.
Keep it going.
Just making it going to be even more exciting when he does eventually return to racing. But speaking of racing,
I was finally going to get a chance to race against him, maybe, at indoors.
oh yeah,
He won't be doing it.
maybe he'll go back to the steeple this year.
Oh yeah, he did do the
that's
steeple early on, didn't he?
He's first world champs.
Yeah.
He's racing the steeple 2017. Maybe. I mean, I think he did. I think he said he wants to break every world record, and I think when he said that, he was including the steeple.
Steeple, yeah.
I guess he has to do.
I think he probably
1500
thinks
first.
like, no offense to the steeple chasers out there, but I think he thinks the steeple is the easiest world record to break, probably in his mind, compared to 1500, 5K, 10K. He probably thinks like, I'll leave the steeple last because it's the easiest. Possibly.
I could see why he would think like that, because I think he just thinks he can.
But
do
then I think
anything
he
as well.
forgets that there's actually hurdling involved. It's actually fucking hard.
Yeah. But speaking of racing, the New Balance Grand Prix went down at the track. New Balance's new track. Really exciting, creative name.
I forgot it was even on. I didn't even know it was on.
Yeah, it was kind of weird timing because it was the day after the
Yeah.
Olympic.
Also, I
Charles
don't think
Marathon.
did they publicize it well. Like, did they post on
It was
social
quite a
media
lot.
about it? I
Yeah.
did not
I think
see
it just got
anything about it.
overshadowed, possibly. And it's
Ah.
just like it was. I mean, in our small bubble, it was not a big thing because it is happening. Like, I mean, we were thinking about BU last week, and now we're like, then since that we've already been thinking about Millrose. So I
Mhm.
kind of forgot it was happening as well for that reason. But there was a sweet 1500 where Hobbs Tesla and Jake Whitecastle were going head to head along with some other good runners, but.
Mm.
Those two came first and second, and
Quite ahead of the rest of the field. I think Craig Right Angles
he
and
was
Sam
third. Yeah,
Praline?
Pringles.
Sam Pringles were 337
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. So like
Hobbs is
still good runs for
333.
them. Still good runs for them. Good openers, but like Hobbs, Tesla,
He looked amazing.
he's been climbing. He's been climbing these past few months. He's looking strong. And good to see Whitecastle back. Jake's had a long road to recovery for him. I imagine it's been hard sitting on the sidelines, being a world champ, and it's good to see him back. He crushed the last 226.
Yeah,
3-4.
looking real
So
strong.
he's
334.0 first race back is
it's
pretty
very
damn
good. Nah, well,
Yeah,
Jake's
indoors.
fucking good. So it's good to see him back, and I'm hoping he'll have a little cheek for little chats and things. Get everyone rolled up because the 1500 at the moment.
He's
There's a lot of
hitting-
chat going on.
He's hitting
Down
down under
under.
for the
Mhm.
rest of the.
He's doing the Murray Plant Meet, which will be fun for him.
He might be doing another one there as well.
Yeah, I think there's Sydney Track Classic as well. I probably will get corrected about this, but I think there's 2 meets that are on around that time frame that he'll be down there.
He'll be down there with Tim Tina.
Yeah, we see
He's-
him, Tina.
He's running the Aussie season instead of the European season this year.
Yeah,
There'll be some good races down there.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
Murray Plant Meet was unreal last year. Hopefully they hype it up again this year. Get some good.
No, they have some really good athletes there.
Mm.
It'd be sick. And
I mean, the crowd won't be as big as last year because I'm not there. But I'm kidding. It'll be great. It's good. They got some really good athletes performing, and if you're in Australia and you're in Melbourne area, please go watch. Please go support our athletes and our international athletes as well.
Yeah. Also, Hobbs, man, I forget that kid is only 20. Like, I feel like he's been a pro for like 5 years, which I know is not the case. But when you see someone, go pro straight out of a high school, so young, you forget how young they are for the next few years because it's just not what you're used to seeing. And so just to see someone doing it as successfully as he is currently doing it is amazing to see. Like, it's so hard to, once you get to that level, just continue to progress nicely. And it looks like he's doing that. So that is very exciting coming into outdoors, especially with how good the American 1500 is this year. And it looks like he's just going to continue growing as an athlete. Only 20 years old, apparently. So
apparently,
I don't know if I believe it.
He's hiding his birth certificate.
I don't know if I believe it, but he's running 3:33 first. I don't know if it's his first race, but indoors at this time of year, people didn't. I mean, I guess people have kind of run quick miles indoors, but like people didn't used to run quick 1500s indoors. I don't think.
No, I mean, I remember when I ran 3:32 indoors. That was like massive news for weeks.
There also just weren't they just normally were miles. So
yeah. And I think it's easier to adjust. Like, I think when you run a mile indoors, I think it makes more sense, I guess, because we do indoor NCAAs and that's mile, So like for us, it's like when you run a 1500, it's a bit weird because you start in a different area. It's like weird amount of laps.
Do you know what that time converts to for a mile, like performance-wise?
3:33, probably like 3:40.
I don't think it's under 3:50.
Really?
No, I think that's kind of what you go through.
Oh. To run 3:47,
but like performance-wise, maybe it's around. I don't know. 3:50.
Well, I would say
it's got to be around 3:50 because he just missed Yared's American record, which was en route to a 3:47 mile.
Yeah, I would love to see NAU heartthrob Nico Young against Hobbs Tesla in a mile at NAU altitude. I'd love to see that.
I don't think that's very fair on Hobbs.
Well, I mean, doesn't Hobbs live up there? Sometimes?
A little bit.
Yeah, well, I don't see what's wrong with that. They could do one up there and then they do one at sea level. And then we convert it.
Good way to do it.
Yeah.
And then
one
what's the decider?
And then one at Boulder and we'll host it.
One
Coffee Club presents Tesla versus Young.
Let's put that on.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Tickets, $10,000 per entry.
10,000. I like it.
All proceeds go directly to the Gus Foundation, which is pretty much just buying us a new house.
Sick. Thanks, guys. You're so kind.
Yeah.
Massive congrats to Jess Hull setting the Oceania record, 8:24. Pretty mind-blowing time for the 3K. And so good to see Ellie St. Pierre, 8:25, second place.
Damn, she came back
quick
after having a baby. I don't know if it's pronounced
with a French accent, actually.
Well, speaking of pronouncing that with a French accent, I want to know how Olli feels about the commentary on this race. Well, shout out to Jeff, what's his name? Tracklandia?
Jeff Merrill.
Merrill?
Yeah.
Big upgrade to the congrats on the new gig.
I love that guy.
Normally, I think he does like the sound running commentary.
Okay.
But he was on NBC.
That is huge.
Big lot. He was
good guy.
He was throwing, I don't know if this was like on the fly.
He loves to say funny stuff.
He was calling her ESP. How do you feel about that nickname, guy?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
ESP. That was his, I don't know if he was like, if he just made that up on the spot or.
ESP?
And the first time I heard it, what the hell is he talking about? I was like, oh, L. St. Pierre.
ESP is, I like
ESP is nice. I'm sure that maybe her husband has already coined that nickname or her family, but ESP.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, they...
Like, you think that exists? You think he didn't just make that up?
No, he could have made it up, but I'm sure like her family and her husband have thought of nicknames for her, and ESP like surely came to mind when they're like looking at initials and shit.
Maybe because CPT was racing, right?
Well, CPT works, but also even closer to home, this is a slight throwback. There was a UFC wrestler. Well, I don't know why I said wrestler. UFC fighter. Is that also not correct to say? Because is the F stand for fighting? Whatever. Whatever.
Moving on.
What was his name?
George St. Pierre, and they would call him GSP. Yeah.
Maybe it's the last name.
Maybe it's from that.
Yeah,
it could be a little UFC reference. That's very niche. But I'm thinking, like, CPT works because his last name is literally unpronounceable. It's like Charles
Philibert.
Thibodeau to Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Like, you can only say that if you're...
Bippity-boppity-boo.
You're already calling him
Skitty
Charles
bop,
or CPT. Yeah.
And
Well-
so CPT is stuck. I don't know if ESP is going to stick.
Well, my name for her is Pier. You know Pier? Like when you go to the pier?
Pierre.
Pier.
Pierre.
Yeah.
I feel like you've had... Have we not had a nickname for her previously?
Well, her and Jess Hull have the similar kind of vibe because Jess Hull could also be like the hull of a boat. So I'm trying to think of something to do with that. And then also pier, you know, you go down to the pier, have a beer.
I like that. I like it when they're all maritime themed.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. But I mean, coming back from having a bum,
Dude,
back to
amazing.
crushing it, amazing. Great job.
Almost broke the American record.
Yeah. It's good to see her back because she's a
Nickname
fun
aside.
runner to watch. She's a fun runner to watch. So it's good to see her back and crushing it. So nice job.
Yeah, sick. And then I don't think we'll touch on the other ones too much, but there were some other great performances from this meet, such as Germa,
There's one thing I do want to talk
3K.
about.
A-Rop.
It's not to do with our events.
Okay, what is it?
Noah Lyles. I need to talk about this. So, very amazing sprinter. He's got a documentary coming out. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. He said something post-race interview that I'm trying to wrap my head around. And maybe I'm not very versed in the other events in sprinting. He said he wants to win 4 Olympic gold medals. That's his goal because he won 3 medals last year or whatever.
Did he?
But if he doesn't win 4 Olympic gold medals, he's
He
going to break
wants-
3 world records instead.
Like
and I'm
in the
thinking-
Olympics?
But I'm thinking, like, what other records can he break from the 100? Or, sorry, races can he win from the 100, 200, 4x100?
What is the fourth one?
He's not in the 4x4, is he? There's no 4x200.
Could be in the 4x4.
Is he trying to get on the
He's
4x4?
probably trying to get in the 4x4.
What about the long jump?
Oh, true. He could be doing
I don't know if he's
long
ever
jump.
done
Don't the
long jump
US
before.
win the 4x4 by so much that they could just put him on and he's like...
Put him in the mixed 4x4.
Yeah, the
that's
mix.
That's too easy.
Oh, yeah, true.
The US wins that one by too much.
I mean, he got me a bit excited because I thought, shit, are they putting a DMR? He maybe could do the 400 in the DMR.
It's
I'm like,
interesting your head went there.
well, my head went there
DMR.
because I'm
No
thinking the
way.
4x4, maybe he won't get the call up because there's surely 4
He
guys.
said he wants 4 gold medals.
Yeah. Surely there's 4
And
guys
they didn't
faster
ask
than him in the 400.
He didn't clarify
No.
what those 4 events
He said
were.
he said he wants to win 4 gold medals at the Olympics or break 3 world records. And I love that he's going back to the world records if he doesn't win the Olympics in 4 races.
Yeah, I
So-
have no idea what that could mean.
Yeah, so I'm confused. Anybody that's track fans or fans of Noah Lyles, if you know what he's getting there, could you dissect it and just comment below on our video so we know? Because I'm trying to wrap my head. Is he debuting? Because I got a great tweet from Kyle Membrane. He commented on one of the posts from the interview, and he said, I don't know, Jakob's got a good last 100, suggesting that Noah Lyles would run the 1500 to get his 4th gold medal.
Maybe he's jumping some events.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Fred Curley would be the one to jump up, not Noah Lyles, but here we are.
I'm definitely Team Fred at the moment.
Oh, I'm always
don't-
Team Fred.
I don't love a lot of what Noah's been saying. Oh, I just...
He just does like weird shit.
I think
Earlier,
he
let's
tries.
just be
I think he
real.
tries too hard. Personally, I think Fred has his like.
Day before the
Fred
marathon...
has his thing, you know.
You see the day before the marathon? He was... I don't know, Twitter.
No, I saw this.
He said something about, like, wow, this prize money is amazing or something.
He said, what the hell? We only get $10,000 for being Americans, like the America's fastest man.
Yeah, and then...
It's like they're different things.
Wait, someone asked him... Who asked him for his trials picks?
Then I
Was it
think
Citrus?
Citrus Mac did.
Replied, like, asking him for his trials picks. And, like, I get it if he doesn't want to follow distance running, he doesn't have to. And he can just... But, so they asked him for his picks, and, you know, you could easily just, like, click on Citrus Mag and, like, pick whatever their top 3 are. Pick the top 3 fast guys, doesn't matter. But he, like, made an effort to say that he didn't
Doesn't.
want to follow anyone and he didn't really care. Like, you only
He's
you
gonna-
only tweet that you... if you want people to know that you don't care.
That's why we love Fred Curley.
So
Fred, and the one
Don't
thing I
love
do
that.
love about Fred is like I'm not saying Noah's disrespecting any other event. I'm definitely not trying to insinuate that, but I think Fred does respect other events because he talks about
100%.
like the steep point. Like I love the way Fred looks at track and field because I think he's a lover of track and field in that way. So that's why I love Fred. Noah, great for the sport in other ways, like incredible athlete, runs,
Yes.
is a very, very good showman when he's on the track. My up and coming favorite guy is Arian Knighton though. I'm looking forward to seeing him run. I know we're talking about sprinting now a bit too much, but yeah, I didn't understand his comment with that. So maybe we'll find out if he's joining the 1500. Noah Lyles.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, you go on his Instagram, he's got some sus stuff on there, man. Just some real cringe. From one man to another, some real cringe stuff.
I would love to, like, if we could somehow, I'll talk to Gus and see if we can get him on the podcast, and we should just ask him all distance questions until he hangs up, just to see if we can get him to love distance running the way we love it. Let's see if we can convert Noah Lyles.
I don't
into the
care
love.
if he likes it or not, but just you don't have to be a douchebag about it.
But
if you don't,
he's gonna love it. We're gonna make him love it. He's gonna love distance running.
Yeah. So
turn him into a fan.
Yeah, that was he won the 60.
Yeah.
New Balance Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Aya Segei ran 358 as well in the women's 1500.
Yeah.
So it's just like another World Tour gold indoor meet where there's just like some great performances, and then I don't know. It wasn't like the deepest events, I guess, but it was another great meet. So that was cool. But moving on, the enhanced games.
I truly thought that was like a joke.
I thought it was a fucking joke too. It's depressing that it's not.
I believe their tagline is the Olympics, but with drugs, which you could debate that the Olympics does have drugs. But their whole thing is that they are bringing science into the sport to try optimize performance, and so they're just like no rules, which I don't know. They're crazy. I agree. I thought it was a joke as well. Like I thought it was like a marketing small thing, and then apparently the reason it's back in the news cycle this past week is because it has actual billionaires investing in it. I believe Peter Thiel, I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he's like big time, like Facebook, like he's big time. And he's apparently an investor in it now. So if you have billionaires backing your product, like it's going to happen. Or not necessarily, but like it's just crazy to see that they're backing this idea, which if you ask anyone in the sport, you're like, that's a dumb idea. But I guess...
Unless you ask someone that's currently banned.
I'll be like, I got an opportunity to fucking compete, yeah.
Yeah, make some money. I mean, I guess the counter argument would be like, within the sport, we're so niche. So they might not even care if anyone in the sport watches it, because maybe it's just 100% appealing to.
This is the comparison I give it to.
Why don't they just fund the Chicken Boy League?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's the issue they have. They obviously haven't watched this podcast because they're not true fans. But this is like how I compare, like when you have, say you have massive fans of a book series or a fantasy series. Maybe it's got a name with a wheel on it, right? And then they make a show out of it, put millions and millions of dollars in it, and then just disgrace the book. Disgrace the show, doesn't have anything to do, is not accurate or faithful to the fans. This is pretty much what's happening to us in sport in some ways. They're just fucking thinking
Wheel of Time.
So they're thinking that like, okay, like we'll put money behind this. People are going to watch this spectacle. The only event I want in this enhanced games is I want all these people to line up in a row. I want them to take a weed edible, and then it's a hot dog eating contest. And I want to watch that. I want to see what a man can put himself through to eat as many hot dogs. That's the enhanced games I want. Is a weed edible, the amount of hot dogs they can eat, and we just watch that. That's it. There's nothing else. No fucking running, nothing. No swimming, nothing. Just eating contests with weed.
It's so sad because it is so close to like what I would dream of, but just missing the mark. Because
completely.
It's like if you really, as George said, if you did use this money for the good and you created your own league that didn't just involve like allowing drugs to be taken, like you could do it so cool, because they say that all athletes will receive a base salary, and then the prize pool their expected prize pool should be larger than any other like event like in history. So that's how our sport should work. Like that'd be sick if like our actual sport works like that, but instead, I mean,
does the founder just really like drugs or something?
Where do you? I don't know.
Maybe he's got some sort of pharmaceutical connection where he invests in some sort of drug, and maybe that's like there's some ulterior motive there.
I think that they just think that it will be that appealing to watch humans like go through this process. But these are my few thoughts on it. One, which this is what a lot of people are saying, it's going to flop really hard because the athletes won't be as good as like clean athletes. Like that, it doesn't work really unless they're as quick as or quicker than like Usain Bolt. Like. You know, otherwise it's just like, well, this is kind of silly. And then my other thing, which maybe this is bigger, is it's just so sad from an athlete's perspective. Like, think about what type of athlete does this. Maybe this is some long-term future thing, and I can't imagine the world in the same way that these investors imagine the world. But in my eyes, like, think about what type of athlete is going to sign up for this. It's going to be like athletes from like really poor countries that like they just want to do it to make the money, because it's not like any of us are going to sign up for this.
No.
Like if you're from like a more wealthy like country, I think it doesn't, like you're not going to put yourself through this, but it's targeting more people that I guess you would say more need the money. So like that's pretty sad to me, because I just can't imagine like people from like us like doing it.
No, and the risks that go into taking drugs like that, like
Because
literally,
that's the thing.
people are going to say, well, I would outweigh that risk. If I can support my family for the rest of their life, I will take these drugs.
That's what happens. That's what already happens in the sport.
Well, that's an issue with the sport that we're trying to fix. That's why anti-doping exists. That's why all these people are trying their hardest to keep the integrity of athletes to run clean or to perform clean, and then to encourage this kind of incentive to these people that shouldn't be in this position in the first place, but they're like, I need the money. I'm going to take these drugs. I could die in 10 years.
Yeah, that's what we have to acknowledge. It's not like
fucked.
It's not like taking drugs is bad just because it's an unfair playing field. It's like literally
bad
health
for you.
risks.
Yeah.
Like it'll like kill you.
Yeah.
Like
literally in 10 years you could die from a stroke because of doing EPO or doing some sort of shit with your body that's not natural and it's fucking you up. Like, people are taking this risk because if they win that money, it could change their whole family's lives, and that shouldn't be the priority. It should be about enjoying and celebrating sport and being part of an environment and an ecosystem in some ways of like watching incredible athletes and incredible people achieve incredible things. This is not a route for that. This is a route for desperation.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some like similar thing, and it's like there's no sport that involves humans that like makes sense like to become so science focused. It's like F1 like more in a way, because then it becomes so much about like the technology and all that, but oh man, just such a stupid idea. I really wonder how much money is going to go into it, and it's just sad.
Yeah, it's sad that we like literally put out the cheese, you know.
Come on, guys,
we put the little cheese out,
podcast.
listen to the podcast. We had this idea and we
money.
think it's good, and then they're thinking, nah, we're just gonna fund people that take a lot of drugs. So
yeah. So that's the enhanced games. It'll be interesting to see how things progress in that, because with billionaires investing in it, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a good
anything.
point.
It could be so successful, and maybe it'll take a lot of years. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. So on to a little Millrose preview. Millrose. So George and I and a lot of the team are heading to New York on Friday of this week, racing Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday,
which is new.
We're the preview.
Yeah, we're the preview for the Super Bowl this time.
It's like the halftime show, but like the pregame show.
Have I said how I think it would be like such a no-brainer, like the sickest halftime activity would be on any like college football field that has a track, just to have I don't know, like a mile race where you have 4 people from each school racing against each other. Think about how much the fans would get into that. So it would be such a good halftime show. Let's make that happen. So George and I are racing the 2 mile, the Josh Kerr 2 mile.
The Josh Kerr Memorial 2 mile.
I think it has been named after him.
Going for the world record apparently. Which do you know what the world record is?
It's like 8 minutes.
8:03 point something. So Mo Farah.
I'm defending my Australian record in the 2 mile.
What is it?
I'm defending
it from who?
Is
there another Australian in
myself? I don't know.
I'm defending it for myself, and I'm also trying to take it for myself.
It's 8:14, I believe. Or 8:15. Whatever I ran a couple of years ago.
I've found absolutely no record on the interwebs, dark webs,
probably doesn't exist.
Any web that any New Zealander has ever run 2 miles.
It's quite possible that no New Zealander has ever run a 2 mile.
I think it might be possible. No, or outdoors, dude.
Or outdoors. I would be shocked by that,
record.
because I feel like at one point, actually maybe not, but at one point, like everyone raced the mile, you know?
Because
like
John Walker used to run like a bunch of 2Ks.
I was going to ask, Johnny Walker would be the only one I could think of in history that could have been close to a 2 mile.
So you can't even find an outdoor one. Wow.
I've found no record. I'd love for someone to change that in the next 6 days.
Yeah.
If that exists. Otherwise,
that way George knows what he's running for.
Otherwise, I could just...
You just sit and kick.
9-minute New Zealand record.
That'd be sick.
You should. I mean, obviously you're gonna race, but it'd be funny if you try and run the slowest 2 mile of history and this gets a record like a 20-minute 2 mile. It's like, yep, that's a New Zealand record from George Beamish. 20
be so
minutes
good to see on the results page.
Yeah, if it just got super tactical and you're running 80s, it'd just be hilarious. That'd be a good context snippet, I think.
Yeah, but the
Okay,
2
I'm
mile.
not going to do that, guys.
No. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No.
The 2 mile is super stacked with Joshka going for it, and then I believe Grant Fisher is racing. On our team, Joe is racing, and our Japanese friend Kaita is racing. That's it from our team, and then we have the 2
Double
boys
bubble.
from Oregon. Not in Oregon anymore, but what are their names?
Do they still run for Oregon Track Club?
I thought
I don't
they
think
run
so.
for
Who do they? What's their team name?
New Gen. Team New Gen.
New Gen Elite?
No, Old Generation. They're called Old Generation now. That's what it is. I
Old
forgot.
Gen.
Yeah, the Old Gen.
Cooper
The Old
and
Gen
Cole.
boys, Cooper Krupp, and
Who
Cole
else?
Bennett. I don't know.
Super
I'm trying to think of
random
famous people
references. Super random.
random references. But yeah, Cooper Tier and Cole Hocker going for it as teammates. I wonder if they'll debut their team jersey.
What does it look like?
It's just nothing. It's literally they'll have like
They're like
it's
naked.
a naked silhouette.
See through.
See-through
jerseys.
jersey with a swoosh on it,
Now we're
so you can
talking.
see their bare chests. I'm sure
Now
the
we're
fans will
talking.
really appreciate that for those
Mm.
heartthrobs.
I don't. Do you know any other big names that are in the 2 mile? It's just super deep. So there's so many people. So
I think we have a couple of Ethiopians that are pretty good.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's gonna be so deep. It's so weird how, well, not so weird. It's really cool how the 3K/2 mile has gotten so good at Millrose, because not that long ago it was not that big of a deal. It was all about the Wanamaker mile. And speaking of the Wanamaker mile,
I think world ranking has a lot to do with that,
yeah,
which is a good thing.
I agree. Ever since that's come in, I think it's really hyped up the Millrose Games, which has been
you get a
amazing.
sneaky big ranking.
Big ranking, big
points
points
for the 5K, running a 3K
Yeah.
indoors. It's a little hack for everyone out there trying to boost their rankings.
Yeah, you just have to get into the meat.
All you have to do is get into
Just get into the meat, yeah, which is one of the hardest meets to get into.
But we have Yared and Mario doing the mile from the team, and then they have some hot competition from George Mills, who is very hot right now.
Mm.
Who else is in it? I don't know.
I think Hobbs Tesla's come back.
Oh, yeah, Hobbs is in it.
Mm.
I don't know who else is in it.
I've been
Sam Pringles, I'm sure, will be there.
Pringles.
Really haven't been paying that much
Right
attention.
angle?
Probably.
It-
He's been
Probably.
racing a lot.
He has been racing a lot. Right Angle could be in it. I mean, I'm sure just from the fan engagement alone, they'll want him there.
Yeah.
What's crazy for the Americans is that Millrose is Sunday and USA starts Friday, 5 days later. So it's a bit of quick turnaround if you don't need to run it and maybe need a little more rest or something. So there are some people that will definitely be at USA's and
Mm.
not Millrose for that reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm glad Grant's running. First time since college. Seems to be a common
Common
well,
theme with the Bowel Movement Track Club departures.
yeah, if you're not on Bauman, then you're now allowed to run
Certain races.
Millrose again.
Actually, they did race.
They did. A few of them did run last year.
I thought Grant raced it one time at Bauman. Maybe not. Maybe that was a different meet at the Armory. Oh, no, maybe that was different Bauman people.
A couple, Elise and Cooper and
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
ran last year, which was like kind of a big deal for them
Yeah. But
generally.
yeah, so the 2 mile is a world record attempt. The mile is, I don't think they're saying it's. Oh, I don't know. Actually, maybe we'll see. We'll wait till the press conference on Friday.
Yeah.
Yared's going to try PR. So
So that could be close to what
So
I
that-
thought.
basically that means
So they're going out fast. I know that much.
Yeah.
So they got some good pacing. We got, I think in the 2 mile we have AJ pacing us again, and we have to give a massive shout out to him. He ran 3:52 for the mile. He's so good, and he comes and paces us. I don't understand.
Yeah. Good
Like,
bloke.
What
Very
a
good runner.
legend.
Good
What a
bloke.
legend. So very excited to line up against this field. And
the
I don't
pace. I think it is. I think the pacer has to be quite good. Apparently, the man himself, Josh, has asked for 60.0s.
it's pretty quick.
That's ridiculous.
I mean,
Are you going to go with him?
I
I might
feel
just
like I'm
try.
not gonna not go with him, but
you're gonna see how it goes.
is it? Is it really gonna be 60.0s? That's what I.
No, I reckon this was gonna happen. It'll probably go out in like 59, 61, 60, 61, and then I don't know.
I
60,
can't wait
60.
until like after the race is like it's the splits and they're exactly what you just said.
But like,
That'd be sick.
this is the thing I think with the 2 mile, which will be interesting. It's a unique. I think Morgan and Joe have run it before, Staten Island, but it's a unique event because it's not a 3K. It isn't a 3K. It's an extra 200 meters. So like running that quick, running 60 seconds 60 seconds of 400. Apologies, because it's a 200 meter lap. Like that's so quick for a 3K. and then you add in a 200-meter finish. It's going to be tough, I know, and particularly this time of year, mate. I'm sure Josh is in incredible shape. I mean, you can tell he's in incredible shape. His Instagram's just putting off thirst traps left, right, and center.
Yep.
Shout out to Josh, man. Jeez, I don't know if I can compete in this world when a man looks that good.
I think you're right. It's really quick.
It's very quick and it's very different to a 3K. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think you'll notice people starting to hurt early, and you guys are extremely fit, and you guys are hungry, and you're also great racers. So I'm very excited to see you both go and crush it. I would love to see you guys beat Josh Kerr. I'd love to see you guys, one of you guys, obviously, it'd be cool if you could both win, but one of you guys win. Joe, obviously, as well. Go out there, crush it, try and win. Like, that's what's great about that event, is that I think every year somebody's come through and just had a crazy race, and I'm hoping that it's one of you three.
Yeah,
And Kaito as well.
I think it'll just be sick racing. It'll be so interesting, what actually happens behind it, because I feel like a lot of people would just be like, fuck it, I'm going to try to go with it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know if I will, but I think I will. Like, I don't think I can physically, like, run that fast for that long, like, consistently. Like, I think I'm more of a, like, run slightly slower and then close hard type of guy, but I don't know, it's just racing, so, like, why not just go for it? I think it'll be interesting. Josh Kerr has really put such a big target on his back like he's never had before. Even, like, look at his world champs winning year last year. I don't think he really ever had a target on his back.
The only race he ever won last year was world champs final.
And so when you come into, he's clearly must be so fit right now, the way he's
sitting in that ice tub. Yeah.
And, like, the way he's, like, setting up this race. I mean, last time he set up a race like this, in my memory, at Millrose,
yeah,
the outcome was very interesting.
Yeah, it was a bit different.
Someone got outclassed that day. All I want to do is
Was he talking as big a game that day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was big. He was, I think
remember that.
he set the pace and everything that year.
He from what I remember, I think he was I think he was talking about how there wasn't really any competition.
I think but he requested the pace and he went after it.
Yeah.
I wonder if he will get behind the pacer.
He has
Because
to.
last year he didn't.
Yeah, but he didn't request the pace.
No. I think he will. He also went for it in Zurich.
He did when he requested it.
Yeah. And got behind the pace.
I think he will. I just, like, can we make a pact? Like, if one of us beats him, like, we say, like, we outclassed him.
Oh,
like,
you guys
in the post race interview.
Yeah.
You guys will absolutely be my best friends.
I think we'd have to say that.
Yeah.
Good,
It'd be hilarious.
I mean, I don't think I even had to say that, but yeah.
And also, you know what? Josh would respect it as well. He would honestly think that would be funny, you know?
Yeah. So, looking forward to that. We have our women out there in force as well. Actually, no, is it just Alicia and Josette?
Yeah, Sage is out.
Less force.
Is Carmela racing? I'm not sure. No. So, we got representation in both the mile and the 2 mile, right?
Theirs is also 2 mile, yeah.
Yeah. So
Alicia's going for 7:55 in the 2 mile, and Josette's going for a 3:46 mile. So
just humble goals.
Light work,
but I'm pretty sure the pacer for the 2 mile is Dathan as well. Like Dathan's actually pacing Alicia.
I think so.
For it, and he's pacing 3K. So
in jeans.
Yeah, in jeans,
blue jeans,
in Cloud Easies, and the yellow tank top shirt.
He's gonna be holding a stopwatch in his hand.
59, 60. Good. Come on, Alicia.
So, we're really excited to see you guys out there. Also excited to see the OAC fan section popping off. We will possibly do some form of a little meetup thing. It might be a little bit like more last minute because we're at this moment don't want to commit to anything. So follow the Instagram. Follow the Instagram for that, and you'll see the updates. I know my Discord is like scheming. I don't know if it's on Saturday or Sunday, but someone in the Discord that's going to be in New York is like, yeah, I got like this marathon workout if anyone wants to hop in, and a bunch of people are like, yeah, I'll join you for some of it. He's doing I think he's doing like 12 miles at like 5:50 pace, like something like pretty impressive. And I think some people will be hopping in. So get on the Discord if you want to work out with some people, but follow Instagram to see if we will do some form of meetup. And then after, we'll all head to Tom Wang's house for the Super Bowl party.
Yeah, you guys debut in the new apartment.
Yeah, so
we'll see what the fuss is about.
We're gonna leak the address.
Yeah, everyone's invited.
Literally just in the post-race interview.
If one of us wins, we'll leak the address.
In the post-race interview, 100%.
Sounds like 100%. A plan. Sounds like a plan. So that's that. A big weekend running, and hopefully another big weekend upcoming Very excited to get out there. Is there anything
Definitely.
else from us? Well,
That's it.
with that said, thank you very much to everyone for listening and watching this week, and we hope to see you all again next week. See ya.